Hello and welcome. My name is Solomon Tinega, and I would like to take you through a course that is emerging, a course that is very new, a course that has come due to the evolvement of the education system of our able country, Kenya, a course called Pretechnical Education or Pretechnical Studies. Previously, this topic or this title was going for many terms. Somebody could call it computer studies, another one could call it computer science, very many terms, ICT, etc. But nowadays, it's either digital skills, digital literacy, or technical, pre-technical studies for the junior secondary category. Now, as I've said, my name is Solomon Tinega, I'm a Kenyan, and the contacts displayed are mine. You can feel free to reach me there. Now, without much ado, I want to kick off and look at what these pre-technical studies involves or is all about. Now, foundation of pre-technical studies. Now, when you're talking about foundation, we're talking about the basics. Uh, we want to understand this topic better by digging deeper from the root. So we start by just introduction and understand what pre-technical studies is. So these are series of learning areas written to provide practical experiences that support the acquisition of skills in technical areas derived from computer science and business studies. So the basic skills that one acquires when he is venturing into computer studies and also business studies are what we call pre-technical skills. And what are these components of pre-technical studies? Pre-technical studies is a technical learning area comprising of number one, pre-technical studies, a learning area that involves acquiring practical skills and experiences in technical areas. So that is the first one. We're going to look at computer science as a study of computers and how computer technology can be used uh, to solve various problems in our society. Then number two, in business studies, which involve the study of activities that involve production, distribution, and even the consumption of goods and services aimed at making profits. So that is the business aspect of what we call pre-technical studies. Now, after looking at that, let's look at the role of pre-technical studies in today's life. So why should we go that to the extent of looking at these technical areas in our lives today? Number one, it gives learners the skills that they need to think critically and also solve problems, as well as preparing them for the technical and digital future. Our world is moving very fast towards the digital era, where even the young ones are meant to know what the digital world looks like. So we are going to acquire skills and skills that are required and that are very necessary, so that we, in one way or the other, may rhyme with the changing trends of our world today. Number two, it facilitates development of appropriate skills and knowledge gained from the learning areas such as computer science and business studies. So, the role of pre-technical studies in our world today is number two, to give us appropriate skills and knowledge that we have to learn when we have ventured into computer and business studies. Number three, it offers a wide range of career in pre-technical area, such as in safety and material handling, in computer science, such as programming, in software engineering, and in business studies, such as in accounting, trading, managerial posts, bankers, and also even a shopkeeper. You can find that after taking these pre-technical studies seriously, you're going to venture and finally become somebody who's very productive and so instrumental when it comes to computer science, in areas like programming, engineering, and in businesses like somebody can become a very good accountant, a very good trader, a very good manager, a banker, even a shopkeeper. Then number three, pre-technical studies promotes independence and self-learning through various skills, enhancing chances of creating employment opportunities and self-employment in individuals. So you will not only depend on white collar jobs. Here you can also employ yourself, self-employment, and this is the best advantage that we have once you've taken this course. You're going to employ yourself, earn your own money, and uh, later on find that you're not pressured with uh, the requirements of a body or somebody governing you. So you'll be your own manager, managing your own business, enjoying all the profits that are associated with your business because you have employed yourself. Only that you will be imposing these aspects to those ones who are lower in the hierarchy, maybe the ones that you've employed. It also equips learners with the skills to use when observing personal safety and safety measures in the environment. So one can learn on how to, like, there's a unit called environmental skills. You are able to know what uh, you are going to do in order to safeguard the environment so that you may not pollute the environment. Uh, because previously we've known that there are no proper disposing of computer products or waste products. But with these pre-technical studies or pre-technical skills, one is able to know how to observe personal hygiene, personal safety, and even safety of the environment. Now, let's look at the safety in the work environment. Sorry. We'll first of all ask ourselves a question. What is safety? What is safety? So safety is a situation where one avoids causing harm, discomfort, or sickness to self and others when carrying out day-to-day activities. You are going to create a safe environment. You're going to create no harm. You are going to not create any discomfort or even bring sickness to yourself or to others that you're working with. For example, one can be advised to wear a mask to avoid spreading airborne diseases or breathing in dirty air. This is very common, like the previous pandemic, the pandemic of coronavirus, where the virus was spread by just breathing. So you'll avoid this by wearing what we call masks. And those masks can also be worn in industries and factories so that you may avoid breathing in dirty air. Also, another good example, buckling a safety belt while in a vehicle to avoid falling off the seat in case of emergency brakes. Now, you have had everybody being told that when you are entering a vehicle, please wear your safety belt. That is for your own safety, so that in case of an emergency, you do not fall off your seat or maybe knock yourself uh, with the obstacles that are in front of you. Number three, wearing hand gloves. What are hand gloves for? To avoid injury or dirt that may be uh, accumulated or that may be uh, held, that may attach themselves to you when you're working. So you wear the gloves that are going to avoid injury and dirt to the hand when working. Number four, wearing gumboots. wearing gumboots to protect your feet from injury when working in areas with mud and sharp objects. Gumboots are meant to protect your feet from stepping into sharp objects that may prick you, or damp areas like muddy areas. Because the mud can also cause some bacterial infections to your body. The last example that I want us to look at is wearing an overall to guard against soiling clothes. So this is common in factories, industries, and even the jua kali. People are advised to wear what we call overalls. An overall can be a dust coat. So this one helps you to avoid dirtying or soiling the clothes that you're wearing. Now, potential safety threats in our work environment. Potential safety threats in our work environment can either be physical or online. Let's now venture in and look at physical threats at workplaces. Physical safety threats may include things like sharp-edged tools and objects that can easily cut or poke someone. Another thing is disarranged rooms where one can easily tumble and fall. Now, that is why we are told when you are going into a classroom, you should ensure that you are seated properly. The chairs and seats are arranged properly. The tables are away from the walkway so that you may not easily tumble or fall because uh, you have easily trampled on an obstacle while you are walking through the walkway. Another one is naked cables or naked electric wires that can easily cause electric shock. Electric shock can cause harm, cause even death. So the cables and wires must be sealed or must be uh, put away so that they may not cause electric shock. Another physical threat is poorly lit rooms where one can easily know oneself against an object. So a room that is dark is not safe for one to walk in a fast speed. So that room should be well lit. If it's a working place, it should provide, there should be providence of good lighting system if there are no windows that are to give the natural light into the room. Then poorly stored items on the shelves where they can easily fall off and hit somebody. So if the shelves around you have objects, they should be well arranged. You arrange them well so that you may avoid uh, accidents because some of the objects may fall, and if they are heavy and sharp, they may cause harm to somebody. Another physical threat is working without protective gear where one can easily be hurt or be injured. This is very common in the Jiwakari industry, whereby people may tend to think that when they work without wearing gloves, they are more careful and more accurate. But this one can cause what we call harm, and the harm comes because you have hit yourself or you've touched something that is uh, that is harmful to your body, and it may cause harm to your hand or even some other parts of your body. So you wear protective gear so that you may not get injured or you may not get hurt. And also, and the last example among the very many that we may know are rooms with wet, slippery floors where one can easily slip off and fall. Slippery floors can include tiles that are very slippery, and when water falls on the tiles, one can slide and fall and hurt himself or herself. So these are part of the physical threats at workplaces. And also, we also want to look at the second form of physical of threat, that is called online threats at workplaces. Every online user should ensure that they are safe from online uh, by protecting themselves and others from online threats. Now, examples of online threats at workplaces may include number one, malware or virus attack. Later on, we are going to venture in and know what a virus is, but as of now, know that a virus is a program that is meant to alter the normal working of other programs in a system, in a computer system. Hacking is another example whereby one uh, gains unauthorized access to uh, some very important information in a system without the owner's consent. Then there is data theft. Data theft is a situation where one acquires information either willingly or unwillingly from a client by either copying or even accessing it. Maybe somebody has left his laptop or computer uh, without locking it, and somebody comes and picks the information or the data. That is what you call data theft. Cyberbullying is when somebody uses the computer or the instruments to bully you to do something that you are not willing to. It's very common, like when somebody tells you that your computer is going to lock down if you don't send money so that we may send you a code to unlock it, such like examples. Friend requests from unknown people. This is very common and it has caused a lot of harm. When you get a friend request from somebody you don't know, just avoid it. Make sure you know somebody before you accept the friend request. Then we have phishing attacks and also ransomware. Ransomware is when somebody causes harm to your computer and asks for money for him to give you a solution to the problem that you already have or that he caused onto your computer. So these are part of the online threats, amongst very many that are at our working places. Now, let's look at online safety rules and regulations in the workplace or in the work environment. Online safety is keeping safe from possible threats, keeping safe from possible threats that a computer user may experience while engaging in activities through the internet. Safety, online safety, is keeping safe from possible threats that a computer user may experience while engaging in activities through the internet. They include number one, protecting and managing personal information. That is one. Number two, avoiding harmful and illegal content. Now, to avoid online fraud, always buy online items from secure, trusted sites. Do not go into sites that you don't know. Also, watch out for scams that may come in a form of a message or email that tells you you have a new friend request. You have a new message, and you know very well that you don't have anybody that you are communicating with, only that you are going through some documents online, and that pop-up message comes that asks maybe for a new friend request or a new email, etc. Avoid such. Do not accept friend requests from strangers. This one I repeat, do not accept friend requests from strangers. Some strangers are hackers who might access your personal information and even take over your account. So to avoid this, do not. Now, phishing is an online fraud system that is used to steal private data such as login, username, and also passwords. You know, a login username and a password will give somebody access into your personal information and personal data that may, at one time or the other, be used to compromise your account. Somebody can use it to access your personal information and use it elsewhere, maybe to blackmail you or to solicit for money from you, maybe also from your friends. Use strong passwords that cannot be cracked or crashed easily in case your password is compromised. Consider changing your passwords right away or even changing it regularly. If you realize that maybe your password is your password your password has been used for long and somebody might be knowing it or your friends might be knowing it, consider changing your password regularly to avoid such uh, scenarios where your account is compromised. Then also remember to always back up your data and keep your computer security updated. Backing up data is putting a copy of the data that you have in another safe place so that in case the current information gets lost or is compromised, you have a different source, you have a different backup of the same data that you had in a different storage area that is going to help you not to lose the information altogether. So those are part of the safety rules and regulations in a working environment. Now, let's look at physical threats to digital devices. Physical threats to a computer may include number one, fluids such as water, milk, juice. Uh, they damage parts of a computer that are metallic or even electronic components. If a fluid falls on a moving part or a metallic part, it starts to rust. If it moves on an electronic component, it short circuits it so that it may blow parts of the computer. Number two is what we call theft. Theft is stealing, and stealing is bad. Even God says, do not steal. So theft, avoid predisposing your items in places where somebody can easily pick it and take it without returning it to you. So theft is another threat to our digital devices like our mobile phones, computers, laptops, etc. Damage caused by natural disaster like fire and impact of falls. Now, natural disaster are things that we can't avoid, like fire. Okay, fire can be avoided, uh, but there are times that you cannot avoid fire when it comes at, as an accident. So, to ensure that these things are safeguarded against this, secure your items by maybe uh, giving what we call an insurance policy. Go and take an insurance for your items so that in case of these natural calamities, your your items can be replaced by the licensing and insuring companies. Then we have corrosion caused by excessive humidity and dampness. This is why you're told cover your computer with a damp-free cloth or material that may minimize the amount of dampness that is uh, exposed to your computer. So to avoid such, use what we call dehumidifiers and also damp-free components. Also, exposed cables in computer rooms. We've looked at this previously and said if you have cables that are naked in the computer room, ensure that they are sealed or report them to the technician so that he or she may remove them and place them where they are safe so that they may not cause harm. And also the another threat is what we call hardware failure. Hardware failure may come about as a result of misuse, misuse of the hardware components that you have. So those are the physical threats to what we call now digital devices. Now, how do we mitigate or reduce physical threats to our digital devices? Number one, do not carry water into the computer lab or any fluid to the computer room or near computer. You know, accidents occur. A cat may pass and knock off the cup that you are having, and the water will spill on your computer. This will cause harm. So do not carry water into the computer room or do not carry water or any fluid near the computer. Number two, do not use old and loose power extension cables in the computer room. What do? They may produce spark and may cause a fire in the computer room. So do not use old or loose power extensions. They may also cause what we call uh, short circuiting that may blow very delicate components of your computer. So replace loose power extensions and cables because they may lead to unstable power supply, which may blow the delicate components of the computer. Next, use voltage controllers to cap unstable power supply in the computer room. Uh, uh, Voltage controllers include things like the uninterruptible power supply, the UPS, or the volt guard, or the fridge guard, things like those ones. They reduce the power surge, and they are stable. They make sure that the power that you're getting in your computer is very stable and very streamlined. So use voltage control equipment to cap unstable power supply in the computer room. Another one, equip computer rooms with fire extinguishers. But remember, do not use water and powder-based fire extinguishers in the computer room. Number two, do not use water fire extinguishers and fire detectors because the water may cause harm. We've said from above here that water may cause rusting or may cause short circuit, or even in slippery areas, it may slide you and you may fall. So do not use water-based fire extinguishers, and also do not use powder-based fire extinguishers. Use what we call fire and smoke detectors, and that will be used to alert the personnel who will quickly move into action to put out the fire that has been caused maybe by one or two things in the computer lab. Another one, tuck computer cables in trunks or carefully lay them under the desk in order to prevent falls in the computer room. Do not place the cables along the walkway. They may cause harm to you. Place computers on strong furniture to prevent them from falling. Ensure that the desk where you've placed your computer is stable and is strong to avoid it from falling off or from knocking it as you are using your computer. Now, another point is that restrict access to the computer rooms. Now, when you're talking about restrict access, we are talking about not allowing those people who are not authorized to access the computer lab. The computer room is very safe because the computers there have been safely installed. We're talking about a computer room as a safe environment where computers are safely installed and provides a conducive environment for studying. So if somebody who has the limitations accesses the computer lab, he or she may cause harm. So restrict access to the computer rooms. Next is secure the computer room with strong windows, strong doors to control theft of the computers and also increase what we call security level. And you can also install what we call CCTV cameras or even employ security personnel who will take care of the computers in case maybe the power has gone and the CCTV cameras are not working. So ensure that you have the strong windows and the strong doors will restrain somebody from forcibly entering into the computer app, maybe to steal or cause harm to the computers. Another one, use computer cable locks to control theft in the computer room. So you can get your cables and lock them together so that when somebody wants to pick maybe a mouse, a keyboard, or maybe a monitor, you find that the cables have been locked and he or she may have problems when he wants to pick the cables from the room. Ensured humidifiers Ensured humidifiers are installed to control excess humidity and dampness in the room. Dehumidifiers are things like the air conditioner, like some of you may call them. So dehumidifiers control excess humidity and dampness in the lab. Also, ensure there is enough ventilation and free circulation of air in the computer room. This may prevent what we call suffocation and also dizziness in the computer lab. Fit your windows with curtains and air conditioners so that it may filter the dust that is coming or the dust particles that are entering into the room. And lastly, cover your computers with dust covers so that when they are not in use, the dust that may be settling freely may not settle on the computer or the moving services of that computer or the computer device. Now, ideas and practices on how to personal and sensitive data from the public when you're online. So when we are accessing our content online, what are we supposed to watch out for? Sorry, to keep personal and sensitive data from the public when we are online, the following can be done to ensure that they're secure. Number one, protect and manage personal information. Protect what you have and manage whatever that you have. Do not just expose it to the online people. Number two, do not accept friend requests from strangers. This one we said before. You may not know his or her intentions towards befriending you. Avoid harmful or illegal content. Harmful or illegal content may cause harm. You may be downloading a content from an unknown location or an unknown site that may come with a virus and may cause harm to your computer. So avoid harmful or illegal content. Buy online items from secure and trusted sites. This one said, if you don't trust a site, avoid buying things from there. But if you trust a site, you can buy your items from that. Installation of antivirus software. An antivirus, we say, is a program that curbs a virus that has attacked your computer. So install and update your antivirus to avoid the virus from attacking your computer and harming your computer and the data that you have stored in the same computer. Also, backup data so that in case one storage device dies or is corrupt, you get a backup in another storage location. Use a strong password. Don't just put your phone number as your password, your ID number as your password. They may not, or your admission number as your password. Those are not very safe passwords. Use a combination of characters, numbers, and letters so that your password may be very strong. So that even I, as a computer wizard, may not be able to guess your password and access your information. Log out from any online account that you have been using in any public platform, maybe to browse or to use the internet. So do not leave your accounts unattended to after you have finished browsing in a public cyber cave or a public place. Log out from the online accounts that you have so that when somebody else comes to use that same computer, he or she will not be able to access your information. And lastly, on that, do not communicate with strangers online. Strangers may have different ideas and different intentions. Avoid them. Now, let's look at the last item for today: safety rules and regulations at workplaces. Let's look at them very fast. Number one, ensure that you know how to safely perform a task. In workplaces, to avoid very many things like breaking up objects or even corrupting files and even causing harm to the computer, ensure that you know what you're doing. So if you don't know, just ask your technician or your trainer. Number two, ensure that you know the hazards of the task and how to protect yourself. We said you wear gloves, you wear masks, you wear protective eyeglasses, you wear a lab coat. So ensure that you know the hazards and how to protect yourself. Next is to wear the required personal protective equipment necessary for the task. I've talked about that one. Always work on clear work on a clear area and away from suspended loads. Do not work on things that are hanging that may fall easily and cause harm to you. You are also asked to always keep your mind and eyes on the task at hand. Do not multitask. Do not talk to somebody at the same time working. It will distract you and you may cause harm to yourself or to the object that you're working on or even the computer that you're working on. Obey all warning signs and barricades. Do not just take anything for granted that this they said wear boots when entering a certain place. I can wear my shoes. You may never know. The boots might be very protective than the slippers or the sandals that you're wearing to that side. So do not assume warning signs or barricades. Ensure that all tools and equipments that you have are not detective before using them. Ensure that the screwdriver, the hammer, the mallet, the jigsaw or the saw that you're using is not faulty because you may be using it and it may fall off and maybe cause harm to you or cause harm to whatever that you're working on. Do not perform a task under unsafe conditions and also report any unsafe tool or equipment that you're using or hazardous conditions. So if you are not sure of the conditions or the working conditions, whether they are safe or not, please do not work on that item. If you're not sure that the power is connected to the computer before you opening it, just avoid. So ensure that you are sure of what you're doing or to avoid harming yourself or even harming the computer that you're working on. And remember, all chemicals, containers, and any other chemical material should be well labeled and covered. This is to avoid mixing them and causing harm. And lastly, maintain good housekeeping at workplaces at all times. This and many more are part of the safety rules and regulations or at our workplaces. I would like us to stop at that point so that we may meet in our next lecture as we still on these on these pre-technical studies. Feel free to contact me on the numbers that I've shared and the email that I've shared at the beginning of this presentation. Be blessed.